Hello everyone, welcome to Intekspace's video with creating nice abstract artwork. Alright, so we're going to create some nice abstract artwork within Cinema 4D. I am using the latest software, or the latest update, which is release 15, or you could say R15. Now anyway, with creating abstract artwork, you could do this with, like, I'm pretty sure any other version to begin with, but we're going to do something a little different. Now, to begin, you're going to want to create two objects from your cube tab over here. And we have these choices in which you probably don't want to use this platonic figure, landscape, relief, or guide, and obviously null and this. But you have these other choices, and the best three would be the sphere, the torus, and the capsule. Now, I'm going to be a little different today, and I'm going to be using the cube, and I'm going to use the pyramid. So you guys don't have to use these objects. I'm just going to be using this to test this out for once. Because normally I see everyone using spheres, torus, and capsules, and they probably put all four, even all three, and then normally they would have it all together. And before I continue, you can navigate through this interface with holding the 1 key and also clicking, or also holding, and you can move around. If you do the 2, you'll zoom, and if you hold the 3, you will rotate. So that's just a little quick tip for you guys if you ever want to know. So anyway, we're going to create a bend kind of adjustment to the cube and the pyramid. And we're going to highlight all three, and then we're going to press Alt-G, which allows us to group it all together. And when you do that, nothing's going to happen yet. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the bend tab, and we're going to go from the mode from limited to unlimited. And when we now put the strength up, it's going to start bending at any degree that we allow it to. But basically, once it reaches the 360, it's kind of like crazy. But still, I'm gonna probably go with whatever, 268. I'm just going with like random numbers this time. You guys don't have to do exactly the number I have. It's just the idea of how to create abstract artwork. So anyway, for the angle, I'm gonna put a little twist to this. Yeah, 131 seems good. So now we have this pretty weird looking cube / pyramid together, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the bend by holding control and dragging it, and I'm going to make sure it's under the groove. And now we have the bend object, and now we have two bend objects as they're applying both of themselves to the pyramid and the cube. So now I'm just going to adjust the second one just a little bit, just so that it's not like exactly the same. Maybe I'll probably go negative with this one, just to be a little different. And now we probably see no difference right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to add the twist effect to it. So I'm just going to drag it randomly in there, and I'm going to do the same thing, mode to unlimited. And I'm just going to twist this now to a random degree, which 400 seems a little crazy, I guess. Yeah, this, I'm trying to figure out what angle would be good. This negative 261 seems pretty cool, I guess. So I'm just going to zoom out, make sure I have good space. And now you see we have this kind of this messed up looking object, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to kind of smooth it out so it kind of has that curved edges and whatnot. So what we're going to do is we're going to use hyper nerves. We're going to subdivision actually, and we're going to create two of them, in which we're just going to drag both of them in the same null object, and we're going to drag the cube under it as well as the pyramid. So as you can see, we have this. It's somewhat it's not really the smoothest, but we can smooth it out obviously by going to subdivision surface, hold control, click on the second one, and then if you drag the editor all the way up to 6, as you can see, it's really smooth. So this is what I mean by being a little different with using a cube or a pyramid. And for the render, Robert's going to crank this up to 6 because this is just the editor. So when we bring it down to 1, but we render it out, I'm pretty sure it's going to go to a 6. So I'm just going to leave it at 6 because it's not too much polygons, it's perfectly enough. And I know I've seen a lot of tutorials on which people do this, but I'm just going to duplicate this by holding control and then dragging it. So now we have 2. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate this 180 degrees. Let me see if I can get exactly within it. There you go. And I'm just going to move this aside, so now the whole thing's upside down, but I'm just going to see if there's kind of a nice angle I can go at. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I'm liking this. So I'm just going to zoom in just find a nice perspective angle. I'm actually kind of liking this kind of angle. I don't know why, I'm just going a little different today. Alright, I'm going to place this within, and before we continue on ahead, I am going to create a camera. I'm going to click on this nice little button right here, and then that will allow me to go into its perspective. And before we continue on, like with after the camera, we're going to go into the render settings, and I'm just going to change this from you know, the 800 by 600 default to a 1080 kind of perspective. I have always been a 1080 person, I don't know why. I'm going to lock the ratio. I'm just going to add all the effects that I need to, which anti-aliasing, this is going to be best. And I'm going to put the maximum level to 2x2 just to save time when it comes to rendering. I'm going to add ambient occlusion but not do anything, and then add global illumination. And with global illumination, I'm going to put the samples, I'm going to leave it at medium, but however, for the irradiance cache, I'm going to leave it at low, but I'm going to increase the smoothness to at least 80 or so. So that should be good. And the last thing we're going to do now is I'm going to use a free preset that you guys can download, so don't worry if, you know, you guys for some reason notice that I'm using it, but yet you guys don't have it. It's a free preset. I'm pretty sure you guys can type in this preset known as the Illuminati. And it's by this, I don't know what his name is, but I highly give him the respect that he created this preset. And I did donate to him actually, just a few bucks. I mean, like, that was the least thing I could do. So I'm gonna just do a quick little guide on it. If you guys want to know more, watch this video on how to use the Illuminati preset. So anyway, I'm just gonna do a quick little tour of it. So anyway, the complexity is just basically how much lights you want to kind of cover over it. And I'm not gonna do much. I'm probably gonna do around 40%. That's good. And for the intensity, I'm probably gonna crank this up just a little bit. But you know what? Since I'm gonna put around 89 or 90, I'm just gonna dub this down just a little. And for the color, I am going to, I guess I'm in a purple/cyan mood today. I don't know, I'm going a little crazy today. Alright, so when we render this out, it should look pretty nice actually. So we're just gonna give this a go. And before we continue on ahead, I'm gonna turn off global illumination. And the reason why is because the Illuminati preset is actually meant for you to kind of render without having the effect of global illumination or ambient occlusion. But I like to be safe than sorry, so I always put on ambient occlusion just in case. So now we have this nice object and it's rendered out perfectly fine, which I'm actually loving right now. But I'm just gonna put this more into the blue side. I like blue. I prefer blue more than like any other color ever. So anyway, I'm gonna put the shadow map to 2000 by 2000. I'm gonna put see my camera. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a background, but first create a material, let's add a background, and let's drag the material onto the background. And for the background, I'm going to put it to more the purple side. I'm going to turn off specular actually. But anyway, I'm going to put this more towards the purple side of it, actually more violet red. There you go. So now when we try this again, this is taking quite some time, and for some reason, the background actually has changed, and that's because of the Illuminati plugin when I checked off see my camera. I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to try it again. Alright, so there you go. The background is the color I exactly wanted, and we are getting this nice abstract artwork. Pretty pretty fast. It's actually taking 12 seconds rather than, you know, some 2-hour thing. So I'm actually going to change the perspective view because I don't really, you know, I'm not seeing enough of it. So I'm just going to make sure I am within the vicinity of seeing the entire thing. And now let's try this again. And by the way, the computer I'm using is actually 1080, so it'll be perfect for like a desktop background and whatnot. So if you guys want to create stuff like this, just make sure you know your dimensions for your computer, and you can get started with using Cinema 4D. So we have this nice object, and I'm actually liking that. So for the render settings, I'm going to go to save. I'm going to save this as a JPEG, and for the options, I'm going to put this all the way up to 100. When you put this up to 100, this will increase your megabyte size for a JPEG image, so be careful. And I'm just going to go to the 3 dots, go to desktop, even though I was already at it. I'm just going to put desktop. Alright, so when I actually render this out by clicking on this render and picture viewer thing, now we're going to get this black box, but I'm going to zoom out, and the quality is going to be terrible for now, but when we zoom in to 100, because right now I'm at 30, approximately 33. When we zoom into 100, it'll have all its nice clean motion. Alright, so this is rendering pretty fast. It took a little bit longer than 12 seconds, but that's because the final render will always do its very best. And I can actually increase the timing, which that's something that you probably don't want to do unless you know you can kill another few seconds. Go to your anti-aliasing, and you can turn this on to maybe 4x4 and 8x8 instead of 1x1, 2x2. But still, you can have that. And also, if you were doing an animation by alternating your bend or your twist for either one, you would have to go to your anti-aliasing and change this from the filter from cubic to Gauss, which Gauss is just the best filter basically for animation rather than still image. But since I'm in an AP portfolio class, I may actually use this image towards my portfolio. So with that being said, that's going to be the end of this video. Don't forget to give Intekspace a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.